Once upon a time, in a lush green meadow beside a sparkling pond, lived a little turtle named Sheldon. Sheldon was not like the other turtles. While they were content to bask in the sun, munch on sweet clover, and paddle leisurely in the cool water, Sheldon's eyes were always turned upward, towards the vast, endless sky. He would spend hours watching the birds soar and dip, their wings catching the wind as they danced among the clouds. A deep longing would fill his heart. Oh, how he wished he could fly his friends, a wise old frog named Ferdinand and a cheerful little field mouse named Pip, would often find him staring at the sky. "Sheldon, what are you dreaming about now?" Ferdinand would croak, hopping onto a lily pad beside him. "The sky, Ferdinand, the sky," Sheldon would sigh. "Imagine feeling the wind beneath you, seeing the world from up high, touching the clouds. It must be the most wonderful feeling in the world." Pip would scamper up Sheldon's shell, twitching his nose. "But Sheldon, you have a strong shell and steady feet. You're the best swimmer in the pond. Isn't that wonderful enough?" Sheldon would just shake his head. "It's wonderful, Pip, but it's not flying." Determined to make his dream a reality, Sheldon began his experiments. His first idea was to use large leaves as wings. He found the biggest, sturdiest maple leaves he could and, with Pip's help, attached them to his shell with sticky sap. He climbed to the top of a small, grassy hill, took a deep breath, and leaped. For a glorious second, he felt a slight lift, but then the leaves crumpled, and he tumbled down the hill, rolling into a soft patch of moss at the bottom, dizzy but unharmed. Ferdinand hopped over. "A valiant effort, my friend, but perhaps turtles were meant for the ground." Sheldon, however, was not discouraged. "I just need stronger wings," he declared. His next attempt involved dandelion fluff. He gathered hundreds of fluffy dandelion seeds and glued them all over his shell. Hoping they would carry him up like a fluffy cloud, he stood on a rock, puffed out his chest, and waited for the wind. A gentle breeze came, and a few seeds floated away. A stronger gust blew, and he was covered in a tickling cloud of white fluff. But his feet remained firmly on the rock. Pip couldn't help but giggle as he helped Sheldon clean up the mess. Days turned into weeks, and Sheldon's attempts grew more and more ambitious. He tried building a ramp to launch himself into the air. He even tried to convince a flock of friendly sparrows to lift him, but he was far too heavy. Each failure left him a little more disheartened. The other animals in the meadow began to whisper, "That silly turtle," they'd say. "He should just accept who he is." One evening, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, a magnificent eagle with sharp, intelligent eyes landed by the pond for a drink. He had seen Sheldon's many failed attempts. From high above, "You are the turtle who wishes to fly," the eagle said, his voice deep and resonant. Sheldon's heart leaped with excitement. "Oh, yes, I want to fly more than anything. Can you teach me? Can you help me?" The eagle looked at Sheldon's hopeful face and then at his sturdy shell. "I cannot teach you, but I can take you. Hold on tight to my talons, and I will show you the world from above." Overjoyed, Sheldon didn't hesitate. He clamped his strong jaws onto the eagle's powerful talons. Ferdinand and Pip watched with wide, worried eyes. "Be careful, Sheldon," they called out. With a mighty flap of his wings, the eagle launched into the air, carrying the little turtle with him. It was more incredible than Sheldon had ever imagined. The wind rushed past him, a thrilling song in his ears. The meadow and the pond shrank below, becoming a patchwork of green and blue. He saw the tops of the tallest trees, the winding river sparkling in the distance, and the entire world spread out like a beautiful map. He felt weightless, free, and utterly alive. "This is it," he shouted into the wind, his heart soaring. "I'm flying." The eagle circled high above the clouds, showing Sheldon sights he had only ever dreamed of. But as they flew, the eagle's grip began to feel less secure. Sheldon's jaws were strong, but they were starting to ache. High above the world, a thought suddenly struck Sheldon. He was so proud, so amazed by what he was doing, that he wanted to shout it for everyone to hear. He wanted to tell the whole world, "Look at me, a turtle is flying." He opened his mouth to shout his triumph in that single, foolish moment. His grip was gone. He tumbled through the air, the world spinning around him. The feeling of freedom was replaced by a terrifying fall. He saw the ground rushing up to meet him, He instinctively pulled his head and legs into his shell, the one thing he had always taken for granted. He landed with a huge splash right in the middle of his own pond. The water cushioned his fall, and he bobbed to the surface, safe and sound, though thoroughly shaken. He swam to the edge, where Ferdinand and Pip rushed to greet him, their faces a mixture of relief and concern. Sheldon lay on the bank, catching his breath. He had flown. He had seen the world from the clouds. But in his pride, he had forgotten the very thing that made it possible. He had also realized something else. As he fell, the one thing that saved him was his strong, dependable shell. From that day on, Sheldon was a different turtle. He still looked at the sky, but now with a sense of peaceful memory, not longing. He appreciated the cool water of the pond, the feeling of the solid earth beneath his feet, and the strength of his own shell. He had chased his impossible dream, and for a moment, he had caught it. But he also learned that true happiness wasn't about being something he wasn't. It was about appreciating the wonderful, unique turtle that he was, and every now and then, he would gather his friends and tell them the incredible story of the day the turtle flew.